Oh, I've not uploaded a video in 6 weeks. And this was a subject that I kind of wanted to save for another time. I don't know, I just kind of felt it wasn't quite ready, but given everything that's happened over the weekend, I felt that this was the right time to talk about this. Let me just start by saying I probably won't get through everything in this video alone. A lot of this video is going to be my observations, my experiences, and those are going to be different for everyone. But I feel the general subject is something that needs to be talked about. I should also say that I love YouTube. It's such a great platform and gives creative nobodies like myself the chance to express ourselves and make content that we want to make, and gives you guys a chance to see content that you want to see. But the point I'm trying to make is that this isn't a YouTube witch hunt. I'm not going to sit here and say, down with YouTube! That's just not the point I'm trying to make. But I feel the conversation has to be had. And that conversation is YouTube dangerous? And today I'm mainly going to be focusing on you, the audience. But how is it dangerous to audiences? Isn't it just like watching any other TV show? Well, yes, to an extent. But YouTube videos aren't just videos, at least not anymore. TV shows often go through a lot of vetting before they're let on air. They go through producers, several writers, they'll go through the publishers to check that the program is on brand. Whereas a YouTube video can be made anytime, any place, by anyone. And that's part of the joy of it. I mean, so many of the big YouTubers started out with just a camera in their bedroom. So how does this make it a problem? Well, it's not about the quality of the content, it's more about the people. And it's not that they have any control over this. YouTube as a whole prides itself on the fact it's great content made by regular people. So when we see YouTubers, we can relate to them. We see some guy that just found success, and that is actually the thing that is dangerous. Let me explain what I mean. When you watch a TV show, very few people are probably going to be sitting there going, I wish I was friends with that person or character, or I wish I had their job. They're Hollywood stars, they're these untouchable beings that we look at from afar, whereas YouTube is a different story. We put them in this weird middle ground. They are to a lot of people celebrities with well-paying jobs and millions of followers, but they're also just a regular person who got successful doing the nerdy stuff that they love. We often feel a personal connection with them because they're willing to spend time with us on a day-to-day basis making videos or meeting us at cons, and their normality. Still don't see how this is dangerous? Well, the basic point is that where TV or film stars are something unobtainable for most, due to the regular people on YouTube, it means that what they have is something that we see as obtainable and an achievable goal for the regular person like you or me. We have so many YouTubers like Markiplier and Philip DeFranco who quit college or university or their jobs to pursue YouTube full-time before YouTube was even a job. And as much as they preach the idea that you shouldn't follow in their footsteps, you should finish your education, when someone is finding things hard and loves watching YouTube videos, it becomes quite easy to imagine a scenario where you step into their shoes, where you become rich and successful doing something you love. And the reason that I know this is because I went through that. Straight out of university, I was employed for maybe 3 months and then I was let go. After that, I was basically unemployed for about a year and a half. Now, the problem with that was that I filled up my free time watching YouTube videos, which sounds great to a lot of people. I was watching music videos, sketch comedy, let's players. And although that was great, it was very easy to look at it and think, I could make stuff like that. And that wasn't even because I was trained to make videos. It was just because I was a regular guy with nothing going for him, which is essentially what a lot of people on YouTube started as. So I started this channel, I started making content, but when I realized how much time it took to make the videos, I got incredibly disheartened. And then when I eventually pushed through and made a video, it obviously didn't do very well. I'm new to the platform, I'm a small creator, and so it didn't do well, and I got more disheartened. And it just became a vicious cycle of depression, essentially. And I didn't help myself because when I felt down, I then went and watched more YouTube videos, which had these regular people with their great jobs, their great families, their great house, all the things I didn't have. Now, I know 10 minutes into a vlogger's life isn't actually going to be a representation of the whole, but when you're in that state of mind, you aren't thinking logically, you're only looking at what you see in front of you. I'd often forget that these guys were trying to make YouTube videos before ad revenue was a thing, and so when they suddenly had these big audiences and ad revenue did become a thing, they were suddenly earning a lot of money, and they could do it full time. YouTube is a very different landscape now. YouTube is overpopulated with people trying to make it and trying to be big on YouTube. And they're trying to make it because they love making what they're making and they love the creators they've been watching. But thinking that they've done it so can I can actually be really, really flawed and dangerous as a mindset. Did you know there's over 300 hours of content uploaded to YouTube every single minute? That is so much content that it's really hard to be unique and stand out or go viral for the sake of being big on YouTube. Yeah, sure, you might get lucky, but chances are you're going to have to actually work really, really hard. I mean, I'm almost at 300 subscribers after just over a year, and still most of my videos are only getting maybe 50 views. Now, any of you that watch my channel regularly will know that my schedule has been bad recently. Well, not recently, since I started the channel essentially, but in the recent months, the reason it's been so bad is for two reasons. One, I got a job and so I didn't have time to make YouTube videos a lot of the time. And secondly, it's because I wanted to continue making things I loved and when I felt inspired and enjoyed what I was doing, as opposed to feeling like I had to stick to a schedule in order to make something of myself on YouTube. I think you should make content. If you want to make it, make it. Don't think that I'm telling you to not make it because there's no point. If you enjoy making it, make it. But don't put all your eggs in one basket with YouTube being what it is. The landscape is changing so much, and with so many people trying to make it big, it's going to be hard. Like, you may make it, that's true, but the idea that you'll make it overnight is just ridiculous. But unfortunately, that is the mindset a lot of people walk away with, as I know from experience. Now, I have to talk about the other reason YouTube can be dangerous for audiences, and it's not a subject I like talking about. It's essentially the subject that absolute power corrupts absolutely. Over the weekend, allegations of sexual harassment were brought forward against a YouTuber and creator of Screen Junkies, Andy Signor. Now, since I actually wrote the script for this, he has been fired, essentially, from Screen Junkies, from Defy Media. They have terminated his contract and found essentially the allegations to be true. Some of the women that came forward were former employees or interns or girlfriends of employees, and there were actually a few fans that kind of came into the mix as well. And I so wish I could say this was isolated as an incident, but unfortunately it's not. I mean, just a few months ago, we had the Austin Jones incident where he was found to have child pornography of his teenage fans, essentially making sexual videos for him. This is an ever-growing problem, and you as an audience need to be careful. It's so great getting to meet your heroes, getting to talk to them, and a message from one of them might just make your day. I know I freaked out when Tom Scar liked a Twitter post I made. I mean, so many of them are just normal people who got lucky, and so it's so nice to be able to relate to them on that personal level. There's nothing wrong with wanting to go to a con and meet them in person or see them live or, let them affect your life for the better and inspire you. But what I have got to say is that if one of your favourite creators ever starts abusing their position of influence to blackmail or harass, I beg you, run in the other direction and please do not stay silent. People are being harassed, abused and taken advantage of, and it is not okay. Yes, they are just regular people, but they've got this money and power, which of course they deserve. They've worked hard to be where they are, but when someone gets that kind of money and power, it has the potential to corrupt them for the worst. And that is when it becomes dangerous for regular consumers who just want to hang out with their favourite vlogger, musician, let's player. So I guess we have to go back to the original question of, is YouTube dangerous for consumers? And like any good essay question, the answer is not a straightforward yes or no. It's actually a little bit of both. I believe that if something is good, there's going to be negative side effects towards it. And YouTube is a great place. It allows shows to be made that would never be made on regular television, and for us as consumers to have all the choice in the world. There's so much choice that it's going to be difficult not to find something you like online. It can also be a great place to experiment with your content and try making stuff that you enjoy, finding out what it is you like making. But you can't see YouTube as the solution to your problems. Don't do what I did and compare yourself to these YouTubers that have been doing it for such a long time. You've only just started. It's not going to be an instant success, and you have to realize that. If you're in school, make content on the weekends. If by the point you finish college or university, your audience may have blown up, in which case you can take it full time, and that would be great. If you work a full-time job like I do, maybe try making content in your spare time on the side as a little thing. One day your audience might blow up, maybe. And if it does, you can quit your job, but you can't guarantee it will happen. It's got to be something you just enjoy doing for you, not for anyone else, and not for the sake of financial gain. And finally, don't let your love for a creator allow you to become the victim. Be diligent, be safe, and if you find yourself in this position, tell someone, report it. It is not okay and you don't deserve it. And that is where I am going to leave this series for now. I'd really love to know what you thought of this video. If you liked it, if you agree with what I've said, maybe your experience is slightly different from mine, or maybe you just think I'm wrong. If that's the case, I'd love to know what your thoughts are down in those comments below. But on that note, I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I will see you all next time.